Hey there everyone, welcome back to a brand new video venture. Today I'm coming to you from the town of Heckscherville, Pennsylvania. And we're here because behind me is a pretty historic structure. This is an old train station slash depot that has some history tied to it. I found this on Google Maps, but was able to find a YouTube video that someone did many years ago on this location. I also do have a little, if I could find it here, a little cheat sheet with some details about the location. I also did some digging too and found some old historical maps showing what this place used to look like. Also joining me for today's video venture is RJ78 Productions. So make sure to check out his video to see what his take is on this location. But without wasting more time, come along with me. Let's check it out. Now it is an extremely windy and cold, blustery day. Perfect day to come do this. Hopefully the microphone will do its job, but I'm pretty certain we can't get inside of this. It is pretty well secure. It's also across from some residential homes, so we don't want to attempt to do anything that's going to attract the wrong attention. So we're going to have to admire from the outside. But right now, as we walk around, I'm going to share just a little bit of information with you that I was able to gather from the YouTube video and also from a couple websites. And then once we get the information shared, I will kind of take you back in time, starting back in the 1930s, working forward, showing how this place has progressed over time. But what this building used to be, or was built for, was the Thomaston Colliery Freight and Passenger Station. Now colliery obviously has ties to a coal mining operation, and according to the maps which you're going to see, the colliery was located back there somewhere. Not terribly far, but it was in that general vicinity. And there was a lot more structures on the property than what is here today. This is one of the few remaining ones. There is remnants of an old locomotive house, which I'm going to show you later on. But aside from being built for the Thomaston Colliery, it was used for the Mine Hill and Schuylkill Haven Railroad. And that was incorporated back in 1828 and later dissolved in 1951. But it became part of the Reading Railroad in 1864. So, as I mentioned, there is history tied to it, dating back to the 1800s, used by different rail companies, and having the transformation at some point from freight to passenger or vice versa. As we look at it here, there is steps that are very much deteriorated, barely hanging on. And most of it is boarded up. Looks like this upper section on the left-hand side here is missing part of the roof. I'm sure it's getting some moisture inside of there. Now there is some coal back here too, so that does kind of make sense as to what we were talking about. There is an old door here that is padlocked. I'm going to kind of step away a little bit, give you a better view. Oh, rail right here. Didn't even know it, I almost tripped over it. So there are sections of rail still here right alongside the station depot.
Like ripped.
As for when the last time this was used, I don't have that information. Also don't know when it was officially shut down, but it has been surviving the test of time. You see the big double doors over there. So it would have been cars that came right next to it to load, unload, such as box cars and things like that. And at some point, passengers as well. Most likely was rails on both sides. It is really windy, man. But right behind me here, there is some coal remnants. So the colliery was back here, and there was many more structures. And that's going to lead me to my next segment now. I'm going to roll a little montage with some music, and we're going to start back in the 1930s. I'm going to show you on those map images this exact location, and we're going to highlight the location of the station and where the colliery was, and kind of progressed up to modern day after 2020, which is the newest map image. And you'll be able to get a sense as to what this place used to look like, how busy and bustling it used to be, and how it slowly over time just became desolate and almost non-existent. But yeah, this is rather neat though, piece of history. So enjoy that montage. When we come back, we'll check out the rest of the property here. All right, we're back now here in modern day 2022. Hopefully that little montage gave you a better sense as to how this area used to look. But I do want to focus back here for just a moment. As I mentioned earlier, there is some remnants of coal workings here. And the one thing I spotted is some walls back here. This is material that was pushed here, it looks like not too long ago. But all the shininess that you see is indeed coal. But there is two walls right there, which looks like abutments for a bridge. So it looks like something may have went across. It could have been a dump or something like that. But the colliery area was back there. I don't know what's left of it. Maybe in the future I will come back and investigate, but primarily want to focus on the structure itself. And just briefly want to show you the other side. So there is the right wall. Here's the left wall, which does kind of bend around over here, which looks like a more substantial wall. Don't know if it's a trestle or not, or a bridge, but that's what it appears, like a drop down area here to have a loaded coal car on top and to maybe dump through the hopper or something like that. But could be something completely different, but it is still standing back here and in the general vicinity of the colliery, which was somewhere back here. But as we can see, there's more here than just the station, which in indeed itself is worth making a video of, but there is a few more things to check out. So we're going to head down here and show you those next. Made a little bit of distance, walked over here to our next structure, which is kind of primarily made out of tin. And the one thing which is hard to see, but I'll try to show you a better shot of it, that window there has like little diamond shaped individual window panes. Rather interesting for a building like this. I'm gonna see if we can walk around to the other side of it. You can see next to it on the left, there's just something still standing, a type of wall for something that was next to it. The roof is gone though. Yeah, I think we could get up here fairly close to it. And there's again just coal everywhere. Nice chunks of anthracite. There's also some braided cable laying on the ground here too. So watch your eyes as you make your way through. You don't want to poke anything out. All right, so we're on the other side now, and this building burned at one time. You can see the discoloration and the charred wood on the inside. So here's that little room that we saw from the outside. The roof's gone. Nothing inside really, just some scrap pieces of metal. All right, so we are looking now at what would have been a type of dock area here that is barely hanging on. It's exposed right to the, basically underneath of it. Big sliding door, which is partially open. I would love to get up there and at least give you a look on the inside. I don't know how safe it is though, so I'm gonna assess the area here and see if it is doable. The last thing I want to do is fall and hit a rusty nail or something like that, but it's pretty neat. But it is burned. This is all charred wood. Looks like they put it out fairly fast, but it has seen fire at some point. Now here's looking underneath it. There's not a basin to it. It's just kind of propped up. I think I'm gonna attempt to get out there. I think I could maybe walk on one of these beams here and at least give you a shot on the inside. I'm not gonna go in there. I don't know what the conditions will be like, but let me see what I could do. I'm gonna try to make my way at least right to the edge of the door. Okay, I got up here safely. Here's looking inside. It is a mess. It's all types of parts and things laying on the ground. There's filters, tires, charred wood. It is not in good condition. It's actually heavily coated in like oil and grease too. And I love this door though. This would have slid closed, locked it there. That's a relatively modern light fixture. RJ's going to check it out now. Neat looking building. I mean, it looks like it was kind of a parts slash maybe little maintenance shack. But it definitely had a dock on the front of it here. Concrete foundation. There's no basement to it, I could tell. And not very big, but let me show you that window. Yeah, there's the window I was telling you about. That's a unique window, a little individual diamond-shaped glass panes. On to the next location. So over here is remnants of what I was explained to be a locomotive shop or a car shop that was used to either build or maintain locomotives and or rail equipment. And I believe this building was intact up until the mid-2000s. At least on Google Maps, the 2016 image I showed you, this was still standing. But as to whether or not it came down due to natural causes or intentional, I truly can't say. But this was a pretty, big operation here. As I mentioned, there was a lot of things here to maintain the equipment for not only the coal mine operation but the rail service. So we're only seeing fragments of what used to be here. Now there is a home in the background. I don't know if that is occupied or not, but it is here on the property. But yeah, you can't really see much of anything. There is a foundation there, but it's barely visible, and you can see shells of the metal there flapping in the wind. But over here is yet another structure. This one we could confirm burned down. It's unfortunate when places are torched because there's no reason for it at all. It's just devastating to see, historic places like this turn into ashes. I can still smell it too. So I am essentially walking in a building. This one I don't know what it was, but it is hardly anything left of it. Just all these charred beams and some metal walls or roofing over there. Pretty sad. Sad state of condition. All right, so this is about as close as I could get safely. That's like the most import structure right here. Looks like a shelf right there, or like a little workbench in there. There's a pipes coming out of the ground right there. Other than that, nothing really left, just some scrap metal pieces and charred material. So it just came from the charred building. Met up with RJ, he's checking out the other areas as well. So where we're walking now is kind of next to the locomotive shop, which is right here. But I wanted to check out the remnants of this building here, which is just barely hanging on with a cinder block corner section here. And this may or may have been tied into this as one complete structure. Might be able to get a better view from the other side, but yeah, this is filled with stuff. There's hoses. And on the ground here, there's a bunch of these gears and stuff. It's like the cog wheels. There's one there. Another one here. These are heavy pieces too. Oh, what does that say? Hang on, let me prop this up here. All right, it looks like Chelsea Products. And it has a serial number, which I cannot read. But it definitely says Chelsea Products Incorporated, Chelsea, Michigan. So at least we know where it's manufactured, but if you guys can identify maybe what those are for, have at it. There's a bunch of them here. It's like a little graveyard of them. This one has like a housing. Brown something with the stamp plate there. There's some concrete, platforms there. Some anchor bolts coming out. But I'm going to try to get around over there and give you a view looking kind of inside. I didn't make it over there yet to show you the inside from this side, because as I was coming down, I noticed there's a wall here. And it's like a big retaining wall. So this looks like it may... Originally I thought it was a pit, but it's open over here, so I think this is just a wall for the foundation. So this could have been maybe more of an inside of a building here, and that was like another inside structure inside the main building. This could have been a pad on the outside, but this is definitely a big concrete wall here, and I'm pretty certain concrete is underneath all this material here. So we'll keep you rolling here and we'll show you the other side. The RJ found a rake.
Yeah, it's literally laying like that. So my guess is it was leaning against the wall, and when the wall fell, that's where it landed.
I like the handle on that too.
Yeah, it's kind of pretty neat.
Huh. Yeah, so where he's standing on right here is a section of the wall that was essentially right in front of him. It toppled. You can still see where it's intact right there. Yeah, so this wall was standing upright right there, and it's a corner of it, which lines up right there. A lot of scrap metal here.
Part number and everything. So this was a big truck.
That's like brand new. So I just left that building there, and as I'm looking The house is down there. There's a structure by it, but I don't want to go too close just because it may or may not be someone's residence. In the woods here, though, I'm pretty certain we may find other things. I don't think we're going to have time to do that today, but maybe in the future I will come back to see if anything's left of the colliery or any workings or stuff like that. But to be able to check out the Thomaston Colliery Freight and Passenger Station and to learn about the Mine Hill and Schuylkill Haven Railroad and to see how it's transformed over time was pretty neat. You know, anything I've mentioned before, I'll say it again, anything mine and railroad related is right up my alley, and this has connections to both. So this was a heck of a location. Would love to be able to go inside the station, but it is sealed up for a reason, and just have to be respectful of that. But hopefully you guys are able to appreciate what I was able to show you here, and also the information I was able to find during my research. The YouTube video was helpful. It gave me a good head start. I was able to kind of dive deeper, knowing what to look for, and to use the historic images to show you when it was back in operation for the most part. So anyways, guys, would love to hear your thoughts. If you are new to the channel, I do have a Facebook page you can follow me on. It's JPVideos 81 after the facebook.com/. You'll also find the link down below. And if you do like the material that you do watch here, you can check out my playlist to see the variety of content I do film aside from just railroad and mine ruins. I do a bunch of other things. And of course, if you want to be updated when new videos come out, make sure you do ring that bell. With that being said, thanks so much for joining me for today's video adventure, and until next time, I'll see you real soon in the next video.